So one thing every photographer should always be working on is finding different ways to increase their visibility. So in this video, I'm going to give you 5 ways to help you increase your visibility and get found and discovered online as a photographer. Stay tuned. What's going on, fam? Welcome to another video. And if this is your first time on the channel, what's up? I'm glad to have you here. But on here, we like to get straight into it. So, coming in at number one is you need to create a Google My Business listing. And I have this at number one because it is my favorite. I think it's a great way to become more visible and just get increased traffic to your business. So, the Google My Business listing, why this is just so good is because these actual listings show up on Google first. So when people are typing in stuff, maybe they're looking for a photographer in, I don't know, Texas or something like that. These listings are the first thing on the search results, which is great because these are going to be the first things that people see when searching for, a photographer or anything like that. So with this listing, you can make individual posts. Maybe you have a sale going on or a specific type of shoot that you want to let people know about, and you can also post your images, and this is mainly what we use it for. So you can actually track like how many hits you're getting to your images, so you can see how many people have viewed your images and things like that, and you can bring in a lot of traffic and visibility to your business, and that's why I love this. Now the key with this Google My Business listing is to have it show up higher in search results. You have to get reviews. So this is something that I think you should focus on as far as gathering reviews in a specific area. I think you should focus on your Google My Business listing because you want to be capturing traffic and people to be seeing your stuff of people who are on Google searching for a photographer. These people are usually ready to make a purchasing decision, so it makes sense to be there and have that listing. So make sure you're sharing this out and getting reviews for your listing, and this is going to boost your listing to the top. And you're just going to have a better chance of your stuff showing up first. All right, so coming in at the second way that you can get found online is starting a blog. Now, this is something I don't really focus on too much anymore, and I never really wrote a lot of my blogs. This is something that I will outsource because it's not really my specialty, and I don't really enjoy doing it. So, I do think it's important to have a blog to, write content for your ideal clients and to help you get found on Google. But if that's just not your area of expertise, you don't want to deal with writing, I do not like writing, then just outsource it. Now, with this blog, this is something that you have on your website, and what you can do is write content that you think your potential clients or your ideal client is interested in. For example, let's say you do weddings, you could write blog posts that educate brides. So, like 5 tips for your wedding day or things to look for when choosing a wedding photographer. These are things that brides are searching for. So, having this content there can help you get found by those people. Like I said already, I just recommend outsourcing this, just kind of hiring somebody. You can find somebody that's not crazy expensive on a place like Fiverr or Upwork to write your blogs for you. And I think that can just kind of take that off your plate, and you can focus on other things that, really matter and are important. But I do think a blog is a must have. It's a way to bring consistent traffic to your website and help you get discovered, which is going to help you potentially book more people. All right, so coming in at number three is website images, specifically filling out the alt tags on your website images. Now, once again, this is something like I'm not a specialist when it comes to this stuff. This is just, knowledge that I picked up over time and things that I've learned over time. So this is what I know about alt tags. It definitely impacts SEO, which stands for search engine optimization. So when people are searching for things on Google, you want to make sure that your content is optimized as far as blogs, and also your images on your website are things that can show up on Google. So if somebody's typing in Austin portrait photographer or Austin photography locations, you may have images on your website, and filling out these alt tags can help these images get found. Pretty much what I know when it comes to these alt tags is it's helping Google understand what these images are about so it can pit them in front of the right audience in a sense. So it's just a form of optimizing your content. So, when it comes to optimizing content, it's specifically on your website. It's not just the actual written content with your blog posts, but also optimizing your images. So I do recommend, if you have images on your site, to go through all those images and make sure you have the alt tags filled out for all these images. When filling out these images, you don't want to just overstuff them with a bunch of keywords and the text doesn't make sense. You want the text to make sense and be specific and actually describe, what the image is and what the image is about. All right, so moving on to number 4, and that is hashtags. I think hashtags are a great way for people to discover your content and you as a photographer, especially if you're on Instagram. This is something that I really leaned into in my early days of my photography career, when Instagram was one of my main social media platforms that I use. Hashtags are great. Now, I see a lot of photographers making this one mistake when it comes to hashtags. So they're using hashtags that are not relevant to the image, or they're not thinking like search based type content. You have to keep in mind, you have to put yourself in the mind of a client who's maybe interested in your services and looking for your services. So just make sure that your hashtags are actually relevant to the content. I've even focused on hashtags that don't have a huge audience. Like, you have some hashtags that have an audience of like 1 million, right? So the competition for that is just crazy. It's so many people. So focusing more on like hyper focused hashtags, for example, I think location based hashtags are great for what we do as photographers. So just putting your location and photographer. So if you're in Houston, hashtag Houston photographer, right? Hashtag Houston portrait photographer, or hashtag Houston wedding photographer. So you can see with these hashtags, I'm thinking about what somebody is searching for, and I'm also being very specific and relevant with my hashtags. All right, so coming in at number 5 is tagging your locations on social media. This is one of my favorite things to do and one of my best tips. I think this is great for, once again, photographers, and you have to keep in mind that people are looking at specific locations, right? So people are on social media searching up specific locations. So if you've done shoots at these locations, or maybe let's just say the location is popular, it makes sense to tag that location because that location is getting viewed by a lot of people. This is going to increase your visibility and help more people see your photos and your content. This is something that you can do on Instagram and also Facebook. I really like to do it on Facebook. People are searching for locations on Facebook also. And if they're searching for something, your photos are going to pop up if you tag that location in your shoot. So whenever you're posting content to social media, especially if that location is a popular location, then you definitely want to tag those locations in your photos. And if you want to learn more about the business side of photography, I have lots of videos on my channel that can help you. I talk about things such as how to make more money, pricing, website tips, all that stuff. So if you want to learn more about that stuff, be sure to check out this playlist. I'm going to link it up top and in the description down below. And if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. I post new photography videos every single week, and I'll see you on my next video. Peace.